this is pretty much how it started. And I just began to journal everything before I started creating. It was just hard for me to commit to these visions and ideas that I just kept written for so long, and I was so used to postponing myself to the point where it just became a part of my daily routine to avoid these passions. And I honestly think that it was mainly because in the beginning, you tend to compare before you actually start to connect with your own creativity, and it really took this sudden realization for me that it's not about showcasing it based on someone else's point of view or the things you consume. Because eventually I let myself down, when I allowed those opinions that aren't even mine control what I actually want to create. There's a show that I watched recently called The Bear, and there's this line that just stuck with me. You have no idea what you're doing, and therefore, you're invincible. I kept writing so much to the point where I convinced myself that this is for me, and creating a story and bringing it to life. Honestly, if your process is kind of messy and, maybe you just keep questioning everything and then starting over all over again, I really don't think there's anything wrong with that. At times you're going to go back and forth with these passions, and, I was the same way. And, I journaled so much, and, I also can at times. Over time I just began to journal not for an idea, not for inspiration, but just for myself, for reflecting. And there's moments where I realized when it came to creating, maybe I should just try something different. And I kept doing a lot of research. What can I use, and to storyboard and organize? This is where I just started using Notions. I wanted to create a template that doesn't feel forced to use during your creative process. Something that feels as if you could just open it any time and write down your thoughts and just create freely. There's honestly no right way of creating. It's a form of expression that's supposed to be all over the place at times. It's been a part of my routine for a while now, and I decided to call it the everyday life. Okay, so this is the homepage of my everyday life template, and I divided this into 4 sections. So it's going to be daily thoughts, weekly planner, video planner, and then of course a section for you to write all your goals throughout the year. We can start off with the daily thoughts section. So when you go here, I tried my best to make sure everything was as minimal as possible, especially when it comes to journaling. So I divided this into mornings and late nights. So when you click mornings, it's pretty much a space for you right here. So when you wake up, you have anything on your mind, you could just write it in this section. And of course, the other one is pretty much the same thing. You just do it at night. And then my favorite part is that when you click for a quote, it's actually going to generate a random quote right here, and it's pretty much everything that I've seen from a movie or from a book, maybe stuff that I came up with, everything that I just written down. I felt like it was important for me to kind of have a catalog of them, and so anytime you guys need inspiration, it's there for you anytime, and you can just write instantly, of course, once you click mornings and late nights. So yeah, we can move on to weekly planner now. Okay, so this is my weekly planner, and we can just go to Monday real quick. And the way I divided everything was, instead of time slots, I thought it would be cool to do like morning, afternoon, and then night, and of course personal. So anything that you decide to write there, of course you could do that. And what's really cool about this is I'll just write something as an example. We'll just say 9 a.m. workout, and then film at 11 a.m. or something like that. You could press a fresh start, and it resets the entire day for you. And you could do that with Tuesday and Wednesday and the other days as well. And just all of them will pretty much reset it. The only thing is you would have to actually delete these old ones right here. But I actually recommend keeping it because it's kind of like a catalog for you to look back and, just see all the things that you could have done. I'm just kidding. But no, I'm just messing around. But yeah, this is really cool. It's honestly a section that I use a lot, and it's good to like organize everything. And you can even get creative and even write a page right here for yourself. And you can say like, workout schedule or something like that, if you want to like be a little more versatile with this spot. But yeah, this is the weekly planner, and now we can move on to my favorite section, which is the video planner. So every YouTube idea that I've had in the past, I'd say year now, I've been using this section so much. And for anybody that is creating videos and starting off, I promise you this template in this section right here is going to be so great for you. So to start off, this is the creating section, but you have to click this button first, and then it'll generate a document for you. So you can also change the title if you prefer, and you can do it as the specific project or YouTube video. And I divided this into 5 sections. So the story, intro, middle, ending, and then random ideas. So the story is pretty much straightforward. You can write the discussions that you're going to talk about, or a gist of the specific story, whether it's a short film that you're writing. And then from here, the intro, middle, and end is pretty much for you to plan out what you're going to shoot on specific days. And my favorite part of all this too is that I created a shot list ideas for each section right here. So if you're watching movies and you like the specific scene, like, I don't know, past lives on minute 5:45, I hope that's a good time and it's not like a crazy scene or something. But yeah, this is where I create my videos, and to be honest, it's pretty straightforward. I try not to overwhelm myself when it comes to creating. So the next 2 sections, I made sure that it was just for brainstorming. So write it down is anything that comes to mind when it comes to like YouTube titles, or maybe you had an idea for a specific discussion. So you can just write it here. I'll even give you an example of what you can do. So when you press the plus sign, you can go to to-do list, and you could say YouTube video for Notion's template. So you could do that, and then from there you can just press the check mark once it's done, and it crosses it out for you. But yeah, the next section is actually just, I don't use this all the time. I think this is for like bigger projects and stuff, but you could do this if you want to really challenge yourself and make sure that you're following the due dates. So for the task name, you can title it for whatever YouTube video. So I said YouTube video for Sunday, and then you could put the due date to 19, and then obviously you could put the status to in progress, or you finished it. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward for this section. That's pretty much it, and you can customize and add more things that you want on here if you tend to be a little more of a perfectionist. And I recommend just keeping it like this. It's way easier for you to organize it and change the titles of the documents if for specific projects. But yeah, this is the video planner section. We can move on to the final one. Okay, so this is my final section, and for 2025, it's pretty much for reflection and just your goals in general. So I divided it into 2 sections, my intentions and the progress. And with my intentions, what I wanted to do was make sure that, I write one journal throughout the year that's about my goals and things that I really care about to my future self. So like me in like a year, of course. But when you press this button, it creates this document right here, and then you could just start writing freely, just everything that's on your mind, things that scare you, things you want to do, just those big goals that like you just really want to chase for. And it's good, I try my best to just do one big journal like that throughout the year, because I feel like it helps you not worry too much about the outcome, writing all these journals all the time. It's good to just really distract yourself with the progress and everything that's going on with you in these moments. And yeah, so that's why I created the progress one as well, because this one is a monthly journal. So at the end of the month, you can write a journal and just reflect on your experiences, things you want to improve, and you just press the button and it creates that document right there for you. And then you could just reflect and write everything down. And again, you can change the title of the documents, of course, the way you prefer. So with the monthly ones, you could do like January, February, March, and it's just a whole catalog for you to look at. And it's really cool, man. I love Notions. I use this so much, and I genuinely do recommend to give it a chance and try your best to get used to it. And if it's not for you, I totally understand. No worries. And I also have one more section, which is my playlist section. And with this section, it is my favorite playlist of all time when it comes to creating, and I try my best to add so much music on here. So you can add it to your Spotify, and from there, I promise you're going to have a good time with this one, because it's mostly instrumentals and things that from specific movies or things I've heard online that just really help me write things down when it comes to journaling and just coming up with ideas. But Yeah, I love this playlist, man. It's my favorite. So when you download this template, just make sure you duplicate it to your own workspace, and from there you can start editing and changing things up the way you prefer. This is my process right now, and no matter what, there's days where I don't know exactly what to write. In those moments, you really just have to close everything, ignore trying to come up with possibilities and ideas, and just pick up the camera and film the emotions you want to capture. I think in my early 20s when I started to realize most people eventually have a moment in time where you're a jack of all trades and you're just constantly discovering and then rediscovering. And it happens randomly, very unexpected. After a while, I just started looking at my piano and I told myself, I'm tired of pretending. I don't have curiosity about this anymore. And from there, I just became so devoted to learning this process all over again. I became distracted by everything that spoke to me until eventually I became obsessed with something.